Good morning. I'm just want to take a moment here and talk a little bit about what's been going on in the world, especially as it concerns what's been on the news lately, which is the president's trip to Russia to meet with Vladimir Putin. But first I want to tell you a story about a group of people who didn't get their way, a group of people that were hell-bent on pushing forward an idea that was not good for our country, a plan that had been set in motion by others. And this plan involved a candidate that had to win at all costs. And it didn't matter if there was another more viable, more popular candidate that the people were actually getting behind. But that wasn't the candidate that the people in control wanted, because perhaps that candidate would not have gone along with their plans. It wasn't part of the overall plan to set in effect a policy that would have been destructive for our country, possibly. And yet, in steps an outsider, someone that was never a politician, someone that never asked to be a politician, but someone that loved their country and thought that they might be able to make a difference, someone that was not beholden to any ideology that did not put America first. And everyone said that this person had no chance of winning. There was no way they could win. It was even welcome that this person was running, because it would guarantee that their candidate would win overwhelmingly, 100% guarantee of victory. Some people were saying that is until you started seeing the type of crowds that this candidate was drawing, the type of people that were encouraged by the message. And this candidate wasn't perfect by any means, and yet people were listening to the message and the ideas, and they were filled with hope. The other candidate had the same old rusty, moldy ideas, the same talking points that had been used time and time and time again. And then came the election, and the chosen one did not win. Matter of fact, by all accounts, the chosen one was obliterated. And I'm talking about, obviously, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. And ever since the inception of this presidency, every day has been a challenge. And it seems even right from the beginning that this narrative has been put in place about Russian collusion. This narrative that speaks to some kind of deception taking place. And the candidate has refuted time and time again these claims, this narrative. President Trump has from the beginning said that he is not colluded in any way. The special counsel has been put in place, and the special counsel has not come up with one shred of evidence to prove their narrative, to prove the accusation. And yet we're expected to believe that this is true. And here we have the dreaded day, the day that Trump said he was going to make sure came to fruition, the day that he met with Vladimir Putin. And he did. And then you had these shouts from the mainstream media, the ones that have been propagating this story, the ones that have been feeding us this narrative and have been twisting and warping the truth for many years, calling him a traitor, the worst thing that ever happened, treason. All these words been thrown around. Even a known traitor to our country, John Brennan, a noted communist who voted for the Communist Party in the 70s, then became director of the CIA, accused President Trump of being a traitor. And if anybody knows, the only offense that can be charged against a president that is a capital offense is treason. So essentially, John Brennan is saying that the President of the United States, Trump, is worthy of being killed. And I look at that, and that is not a veiled threat. Or that is a veiled threat, but it really is not a veiled threat if you know what the actual term and the way that it's being used by John Brennan it is. And many people have said this, traitor, treason. And yet, all these people, these screeching harpies, saying all these things, leaves one thinking, what are they talking about? If you look at the actual meeting between the two and the press conference, you notice that there was no talk of anything but bringing the countries together and coming to a peaceful resolution to denuclearize, to talk peace and not war. You know, there's a saying that says that keep your friends close and your enemies closer. And this is true in this sense, I believe. You know, you want to have a good relationship with those that you deem to be your enemies. You want to know what they're up to. The closer you are, the better you can see what is going on. But just back to this point about the president talking peace. He's talking peace. You know, why wouldn't you want to have peace with the other great superpower in the world? I don't understand that. I mean, these people that are screaming and yelling in the mainstream media, and these former CIA directors like Brennan, and these politicians, it's almost as if they want for this not to happen because they want an excuse to go to war with Russia. And why would we want that? Russia is a nuclear power. Why would we not want peace? This is what I don't understand. And this makes me think that these attacks against the president are unfounded. I mean, the accusations about the DNC hacking and all this sort of thing, okay. I'm not saying that the Russians aren't innocent and any that are innocent, but the Russians have been doing this for years, and other countries have been doing this for years. They've been trying to hack into the United States in all sorts of ways. And yet, where's the server for the DNC? Where is this proof? Where is the forensic evidence from that server that proves that this happened, that this collusion happened? It has not once even been brought out as evidence. It has not once, no kind of analysis on it has been given to anyone that has been accused of this. Usually, when you're being tried for something, when you're being accused of something, there's got to be some evidentiary fact. But there's nothing. They haven't even done this. So, you know, I don't know exactly what the level of this is, but you know, I see all this hatred being pointed at this one person, and it makes me wonder exactly what is going on. Is someone hiding something? Is someone forcing something upon our president? Is someone seeing the effectiveness of this president and they don't want it to ruin what they've been planning for decades? Who knows? But I know this, is that right now we need to stand with the president, because he's the only person that I can see that wants the best for our country, for our citizens. And it's scary to think what someone that would kowtow and bow to all these other countries and want wars continuously like we've had over the last 3 presidencies, how anyone would want that to continue. I want to live in a country that is at peace with the world, where citizens are earning a decent living, where they have a good quality of life, where we can make those improvements to our infrastructure to help our schools and our children, where people want to love one another and get married, and have children, and raise their families, and just enjoy their life, free of worries from whether they're going to be under attack or whether their peace is fragile. So I think that we need to talk a little bit louder and support a little bit louder our voice, and ask that these evidences be brought forth, because all I see right now is the blame game going on, is that yelling. You know, I used to be around a lot of people when I was growing up, and you could always tell who the liars were because they were the ones that were yelling the loudest. They're the ones that wanted to shout over you. And I see the mainstream media and these uber leftist politicians that are all yelling against Trump. Not only Trump, but those that support him, and saying all these things that he's doing. You know, and I'm even talking about the Paul Ryan types who came right out and said, you know, that he doesn't support the president, what he's doing doesn't agree with, you know, trying to make peace with Russia, and you know, he's one of them. But yeah, just notice the loud voices and know that it's all just pure BS. It's pure vitriol being shouted out. There's a lot of hatred. There's a lot of hatred. And it's all coming from one side. And that's definitely got to be a something that we need to see and understand. All right, thank you for your time. I'm sorry this video went a little long, but hopefully we can come together and start letting more people know. All right, thank you.